Look who it is. It's me, ugly, already just to begin the video. That's when you know. That's when you know this is going to be quite the ride. So I just want you guys to know that the lines in this video, like the symmetry, sometimes the sound in this video is just not, it's just not up to par. I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna let you know, like, it is off. It's driving me crazy. I wish I could fix it. I can't. It's not allowing me to fix it. The way that I set up the camera messed up. Some weird like air conditioner energy comes on in one of them. Like, the sound goes up and down. That's how much, when it comes to like foreign energy and reading energy, especially energy that does not want to be seen or cleared, it messes with my electronics. It's what it does. It like doesn't want the message to get across. So yeah, that was like the entire time. So yeah, just so you know, I know, trust me, I know, I'm a perfectionist, I know, and I hope that it'll be better next time, but today, it's not perfect, and that's just the simple truth.
Hi guys, what's up? My name is Courtney Lawrence, otherwise known as the Bougie Psychic, and welcome back to my channel. What I'm going to be doing for you guys today is a generalized reading, so hopefully the message today is going to be kind of like a timeless sort of present time growth period read. And so what I mean by growth period, it's kind of like a soul detoxing period as you up level. So what sort of challenges are you currently facing? What's the themes that are coming up for you to recognize and see and maybe incorporate into your everyday life or your energetic space, or different things you can do for your spiritual hygiene that'll just genuinely like help you move forward in life? I honestly don't really know, to be real with y'all. I just know that the energy is potent because I keep trying to do this video and I keep messing up everything that I'm saying and then like not wanting to do it. So usually that means when I have a resistance to reading, there's like a lot of energy that's gonna clear. And as you guys know, just simply by receiving a reading and hearing things and having the energy in your space validated, things already begin to move and shift in your space. So if I'm saying something that's resonant to you, with you, or something that's like, ooh, right in the chest, feel that, get you kind of triggered, just know that even just receiving that reading without a healing, you're already beginning to heal yourself. It's really cool, the power that just simply reading and validating energy can, it's cool, the healing power that simply reading and validating energy can do on the soul. So yeah, without further ado, I will go ahead and begin. God, you can see my I can't say anything. Cool. We have the amethyst. We have the rose quartz. Quartz point. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me on this one. My fifth chakra is so clogged. I'm like, what the fuck? And this funky little green guy. That's gonna be its name. It's funky little green guy. I don't know its name. I don't feel like looking it up. You guys know me. You'll just have to deal with it. Okay, so to begin, I will start with the. This happens every single time. I'm like, dude, what is this called? Amethyst. There we go. Cool. Okay. I gotta push it out. Sometimes energy kind of like comes into my face and I can't see anything, so I'm just like pushing it away. Hold on. Okay, so for you guys, one of the first things that I'm seeing is you have a goal, and it looks like a lot of other people might have this same goal. And a lot of the times, the best part about like spiritual healing and doing the work is that you realize that you get to have magic in your life. So somebody who says they dream of being a rapper or something like that, a muggle person usually doesn't have they have the tools, but like they have to think really hard and they have to like who do I contact, and like try really hard and like do all these different things. But it looks like these people in this pile are very spiritually inclined, and so it looks like these people are very good at like manifesting, or just kind of going with their intuition, or just really good at receiving. And so, you know, for this person over here, you know, who's not really spiritually inclined, or just, you know, not into it, that's just not their path in this lifetime, you know, it takes a lot more hard work and like dedication to get to where these people like want to go. And it just, you know, they have all these doubts and all of these things, and it looks like you guys both, maybe you also like want to be a rapper. Okay, this is just, you know, this is just an example, right? And so, you know, for you, it looks like you're the type of person that can just be like, oh, like I should be at this place, like at this time, like I'm getting a call like from spirit just to like go here at this point and at this time in my life. And all of a sudden, because you did that, you meet somebody who's just like, oh my gosh, like I dream of being a producer, and he's like, come over to my studio and just play with me. And it's just there's a lot of magic that you guys, you know, have. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of these like other people in your life that don't necessarily have that magic, you know. And it's not even just like necessarily like magic. It looks like, you know, there's this it factor about you, you know, where you kind of have the flavor of being a rapper. There's just like this charismatic, like people are drawn to you, and this is just like something you're good at. And what I'm also seeing is that like these people over here don't really understand, you know, on a spiritual perspective, like, you know, the more you that you become, the less competition there is when it comes to certain things. Because, you know, like me as a reader, I have a very different brand, a very different personality. The more that I get in tune with myself, you're going to get something very different from me than, say, somebody who's, you know, I don't know, you know, somebody who's very different from me, you know. And so I'm seeing that a lot of people, though, who don't understand this concept are looking at you and one kind of wishing they had what you have. And so there's a part of you that's kind of making yourself smaller because you have it. Like there's something about you with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or manifest or have, or even if it's like a relationship, you know, you have that, you have what that person wants. You have this, like you have what it takes, along with like magic and, you know, spell casting and manifesting and like all of this stuff where life just like works out for you. And so I'm seeing that there's a lot of jealousy that's coming in, and a lot of people comparing themselves to you. And what you're doing, though, is you're making it your problem. So I'm seeing that how these people feel in your presence, like there's this sort of like, however they feel, you know, maybe they look at you and they're like, I'm not as pretty as you, or it's like, I'm not as confident as you, or I'm not as good as a rapper as you know, like they kind of immediately go there, and you take it and you make it your problem. So it's sort of like, it looks like these people in this pile have been trained to believe that how that they make other people feel is their fault. So obviously, like, I'm not saying, you know, don't be an asshole or a racist butthead that's saying terrible things to people and they're like, well, it's your problem that you feel that way. No, but I'm seeing that there's this sort of energy that has you take on the responsibility for these people's insecurities. It looks like maybe in childhood you were punished for, you know, being very bright, right? And, you know, really owning yourself or whatever this is. And this punishment is sticking around with you. It looks like sometimes these people will like put you down if you're doing really well, or if you might just like not receive as much love from people. Or on the flip side, it looks like there are some people that kind of just like you for what you offer them. So in a way, I'm seeing that a lot of people do really love and care about you, but also there are some people in your life that it looks like are friends with you or in relationship with you because of the energy that you give them. They like you for that. And it looks like you really want to give these people, you know, your energy and like kind of help them be able to have, you know, their own light and maybe get into spirituality and, you know, get into all these things like you. And you're kind of giving yourself a lot to them and maybe taking on a lot of their issues. And it looks like, you know, without your help, where they are right now, they wouldn't be where they are right now in some way. And so there's a fear of almost retracting or taking your energy back or doing these things because there'll be like a fall. But it's actually one of the most like loving things you can do is kind of like, you know, choosing to not really have these people maybe in your life anymore, or choosing to take your energy back, because what they're going to learn how to do is they're going to be forced to learn how to do everything like on their own. Not necessarily like on their own in the way that like they'll be alone, but moreover they're going to be learning how to be self-sufficient. And so what I'm seeing for this pile, there's so much focus on what these other people think of you, that there's no recognition or love for yourself. It's like how they feel about you comes before how you feel about them, or how you feel about them, or even how you feel about yourself. If anybody has come to mind while I've been reading this, and then you kind of like shove them away, like being like, oh no, like not them, like no way, like I don't know, there's a bit of guilt for feeling this way about these people. But the thing is that the more that you put these other people above yourself, the slower you're going to go. You're not going to achieve your dreams as fast as you want to. And there's this belief that, you know, it looks like because this was learned in childhood, either from parents or like a parental figure around you, or an authority figure, that this is just the way that people are, because you haven't really experienced a relationship where people really just like you for you and not for what you give them, you know? And so, yeah, that's just like one of the major things that I'm seeing right now that like looks like it's important, and it might be coming up maybe in different layers for you over the next year. You deserve to put yourself first. You just, you know, spending all your time trying to uplift and bring everybody along with you for the ride isn't actually helping them. It's slowing them down even further. It's really slowing them down. The best thing that you can do is be an example. So you can be shining your light and doing whatever it is that you want to do, and really focusing on, just helping yourself. And genuinely, the most loving thing you can do is, kind of separate yourself from these people and allow them to witness you. And begin to, because what looks like what they're doing unconsciously is the exact same thing of like where they're also trying to bring other people along. And so they're doing the same thing to you, and then maybe you've been doing this to perhaps other people too. So it's like this big train of bullshit. And And so you stopping the train, you being like, no, I don't want this, it kind of stops something. And what it does is it brings your energy back in so that you can move forward and do what it is that you want to do. And really begin to manifest what it is that you want to manifest and bring in. Or, you know, it looks like even on an emotional level, even feel better about yourself and your life, and be more content with where you're at. Yes, it might be hard for these people in the beginning, but it will teach them something. It'll teach them about self-sufficiency, and even a negative reaction in people sometimes can be one of the most healing things. That's something that I've learned this year. Well, I've been really angry at certain spiritual teachers in my life that have actually been teaching me a lesson that I just didn't have the permission to do. So you having the permission to be like, no, I don't want this type of relationship in my life anymore, it teaches that person the same thing, whether they get it now or 50 years from now. You're doing a loving thing. And, you know, who knows, you know, maybe from there they learn and you guys can be in relationship again. But it looks like there are just some people right now that, you know, you're actively making the choice to continue to give them your energy and then being a victim about it. You're doing it, you know. I'm saying this to myself and you, so self-drag. Yeah, so it just looks like that's what's happening, and you really need to take stock, and it looks like a lot of things in your life will begin to actually move forward once you begin to own yourself. Cool. Pile 1. All right, group number 2 is the rose quartz, and I will be going ahead and tuning into the energy of this one. It has taken me like 3 tries. And something always kind of bounces in and kicks me on my body and I can't see what's going on. So, this is an intense one. I had a feeling. I'm gonna move through it though. God, fucking damn it. Okay, this one, y'all are going through some major changes that it looks like other people around you don't understand. And there's a obligation to explain it all, or they're kind of trying to slow you down in a way where like, oh my God, like what's happening with you, like what's going on, you're not that person that you were in 2017 anymore, you're not that person you were in 2018, like where did she go? And
oh no, Courtney, you lost your truth again. All those 17,000 people that don't want you to have you in your body are kicking you out again. Don't look at the truth, they say. Don't do it. Oh, here it comes.
You don't really care.
Ooh.
And there's a lot of guilt around that.
Oh, big oof. Toodles.
It's like you should care about how these other people feel about your change, but the truth is that you don't. And even if you feel it all in your space, like even if you're like, oh my God, like this is so scary, I feel all of this weirdness, like what the heck is going on with me? No, it's because you're taking on the responsibility of everybody else and how they're reacting to this new change. This new person that you're becoming, it looks like a lot of people haven't experienced it before. Maybe you haven't really fully experienced this part of you before. It's like a new identity that you're bringing in. It's like this new you suddenly has all these, might have, it looks like new talents that are coming in, new interests, new hobbies. What it's doing is it's pissing a lot of people off, making them really sad. And, you know, it looks like you've been valuing, you know, how these other people feel about you more than yourself for a long time. So in psychic school, we learn that there's two relationships. There's the relationship that you have with somebody. There's like, you see it as one entity almost, and like you kind of read the energy of like what's happening over here with that. And then there's the energy that this person, the way that they relate with you. And so what I'm seeing for this group is that like, it looks like the way that they related with you or how they wanted you to be encapsulated like you and became just one relationship. And what's happening here is that there's beginning to be a separation of how you actually relate to this person and how they relate to you. And you're starting to almost take your power back and realize like, whoa, how do I actually feel about this person? Or what are my needs and my wants? And how is this person unable, it's just all about them and their relationship with, you know, it's just all about them, you know? And it looks like as this happens, right? So I'm seeing that what you were doing when you're kind of like in this relationship bubble with this person or people, you would, the bubble would almost expand. And so it would be as if you were kind of feeding them your energy, and like, you know, they really liked how you made them feel, and you kind of really liked almost existing inside of that bubble in a way. It looks like that's kind of something that maybe that's the only way you've known of relationships, is just kind of like, how does this person feel about me? You know, like, they love me, like all this stuff, and just it's all about them, you know? And so, you know, what is it, and how do you relate to this other person? And I'm seeing that there's a lot of shame around this. A lot of shame, fear, anxiety, fear of being punished. Because I'm seeing that these people, maybe as a kid, were trained they have to feel a certain way, or like they have to be a certain way in order to be loved. And so this can be very overt, like narcissistic abuse, or this can be very small. It can be very manipulative. You don't even know this might happen. Sometimes the people that, you know, tell me, they're like, oh my, the people that I'm seeing this happening with are the people that are like, oh, my childhood was like absolutely perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. And I'm gonna say about 85% of the time, okay, like 50% of the time, like, yeah, like, you know, like, I don't wanna like say everybody in the world has a fucked up family, but like 85% of the time in our current society, your childhood was not perfect. I'm gonna be really fucking honest with you, it was not. There's a lot, and like the fact that you have to say that and you don't remember any specific small thing that ever happened to you, says a lot. Like the fact that you can't go into it, like, you know, be like, oh yeah, you know, like one time, you know, my dad hurt my feelings when he did that. Like, okay, cool, you know, like that's a small thing, but the fact that you're like, nope, everything was good, everything was great, you know, like that's telling. That's telling. Usually, you know, yeah, I can go on about that, but anyway. So, but not all family, okay, not all people, okay? Not totally anti like family or like anti like good childhood. Just put, there's an energy. You guys know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just looks like with these people, it's truly been like all about how that person feels about you. And, you know, it looks like a lot of your needs haven't really been validated, and that new you, right, isn't them anymore. You kind of would merge. So that, you know, or like whatever they kind of wanted you to be, and so now you're like, shh. And you're creating this whole new relationship, right? And this person's like, yo, like what the fuck? You know, I don't like this. And, you know, that's normal. But I'm seeing that, yeah, there's just been a lot of punishment for that. And so it's kind of hard to separate yourself and really be you because it looks like there was so much punishment, and that punishment's not always like bad, go to timeout. It can be like a withholding of love, or not getting as much attention, you know? So that's kind of what I'm seeing with this group. And as that new relationship with you forms and you start to really realize, like, how do I feel about this? Like, do I like this person? Do I want to talk to them? Like, it's a bit of a growth period for yourself and many others. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. And, you know, it looks like this is going to be a bit of a balancing game. So go easy on yourself, because, you know, you're kind of learning that you deserve to be loved for who you are for the first time maybe in your life. So, yeah, it might go in and out. You know, I'd be scared. This person might react in this way, but I'm seeing that this is going to be something that, you know, ultimately you are developing a better relationship with yourself. And when you have a better relationship with yourself, things come to you easily. You manifest better things, and quite frankly, life just feels, you know, better. You might feel more pain as things start to come up. Even feeling the pain, it feels like yours. It doesn't feel like a black hole that you'll never come out of. Yeah, so that's what I see there.
Hi, it's me, Ugly. So I think I should just describe this a little bit better because the energy is not as like freaking insane as it was that one night. So what I'm saying is that you're going to be starting to kind of just gain a higher awareness of like what is me and what isn't me. So it looks like there's a growth period that you might be going through where you're beginning to really take ownership over how you actually feel and how your needs aren't being met maybe in certain relationships, and how it's always been all about like other people and what they think of you, and it's just like everything's about them. And so I would like to say like, oh, you'll just like shoot into your body and you'll just be like totally fine and like just be like done with relationships and all of that stuff. But it looks like there's just been a lot of trauma for this group of people, whether it be, like I said, like real legit trauma, like, well, not everything's legit trauma, but like, you know, extreme punishment, or, you know, the traumas of like not receiving as much love for being yourself. You know, that's a trauma. And so, you know, as you learn to be okay with certain people not giving you the same amount of love, and realizing that there's other people that will treat you better and will love you for yourself, it's almost like your body is going to learn that it's safe for you to be you in your relationships. And it's like you'll learn that like that what the other person thinks of you, it doesn't really matter, because there are people that love you just for you. And so it looks like it's just like a bit of a yo-yo, like I was saying before, of like, okay, I'm going to come in now. Oh, I'm scared. Oop, that made that person angry. Of like, that reminds me when I was like 5 years old and my mom drove me to jail. True story. Facts. So yeah, just beginning to like see the difference between yourself and even just having the awareness, not necessarily even making the choice of like, I don't really want to do this right now. Why am I simply just agreeing to this? Like, what's going on here? And just beginning to have that awareness, even just over the next year, just, it looks like it's going to be a big one. And the way that you can just help yourself is just, you know, by simply just allowing yourself to have the awareness and like having where you're at, and just even noticing at certain points, why am I just agreeing to this when I don't even want to do this? Or like, why am I doing certain things when I just, you know, don't want to do them? Or do I even like this person that I'm in relationship with? Like, or is it just like, do I like how they make me feel? Or do they like how I make them feel? And do they really like me? Or do they like what I've turned into in order to please them? It's kind of fucked up. It looks like it's just like it's a big growth period for the planet right now, with a lot of like that Saturn Jupiter conjunction, Jupiter Jupiter-Pluto conjunction coming up again. It's all in Capricorn. It's just like real shit. It's real shit that's coming out. And that's just what I'm seeing right now. Bye.
All right. The third stone is the quartz point, and I'll be looking at the energy of this.
Hi. It's me, Ugly, on a different day because I was so triggered by what I said in this portion. I was like, I need to just redo this entire one because people are going to get the wrong idea and people are going to freak out and I'm going to get canceled. I ran away from this for a little bit. I literally just tried to read this group again in a different, like, and try to see a different message. And I literally just saw the exact same thing portrayed in a different way. What I'm going to say in this is a bit controversial. Be patient. I'm going to try my best to elaborate and expand on what I'm saying. I just want to put that out there. Like, I want to be in my truth, and I want you guys to, I want to be authentic. And some people might not agree with what I'm saying, and that's okay. But I just want you to know that, like, just give it, like, just move through it, and I'm going to be explaining and clarifying because this is a very hard message to get across because you have to do it in just the right way. And I had like 15,000 people in my space while I was reading. I was like, I just like ended the relationship with my parents. Like I was in it. So I'm trying to get through it. And it was like so meant for me, this message too. So just bear with me on it. Okay.
Okay. So I'm seeing you guys like point up an image of you guys like pointing up and seeing, look, a rain cloud. And it's like the bad thing. Here's the bad thing. Or like, here's the thing that's like affecting you. Or here's like this person that's super in your space. Or here's this, like, here's the thing. Look at this thing. And there's a lot of focus on it. So whether it be like, not even just, you know, like a person or a bad thing in your life. Like, I'm not saying that you're like completely negative, but it looks like there is this focus on oh, I'm not there yet, or oh, you know, you kind of like follow it around. It's like your pet. What the heck? It's like a little leash. You're like, it's a little rain cloud. What are you doing? Okay, so there's pain that you guys are like not wanting to let go of because like one time you were walking and this rain cloud that's very small, but like it's like out of nowhere this rain cloud just little small baby rain cloud just struck you with lightning and you were like sent to the hospital. So it's like out of the odds, like, you know, this even trauma happened to you. And so in a weird way, I'm seeing you guys almost like, you know, feel like a victim to whatever the pain that is that happened. I'm not trying to dismiss any trauma. Okay, I'm like trauma queen, like been through it all, like not putting myself above you guys either, but just like, I've been through some shit. I'm not trying to dismiss it. This is just a really funny thing. The best way to heal is the humor. So you're like, I'm never gonna let that happen again. So you know what I'll do? I'll fucking lasso this rain cloud. I'll keep it right next to me. This way, I'll know if rain cloud is like preparing for a storm, all of this stuff. And I'll know if I'm gonna get electrocuted. So in a way, it's kind of like you guys are holding on to this pain in your body and you're not letting this trauma or whatever it is like happen go, because like, one, it was just so shocking. It was so shocking when it happened. You're like, well, like it could happen to me again. It's kind of like a crazy fluke thing, or, you know, just things that have happened to you, or just like, you don't know if mom's gonna be angry or something like that, so I'm gonna keep going to keep pet mom as rain cloud over here, so I know when she's all rumbly and angry, she's right there. And maybe she's like raining on me like a lot, but I know she's there. And I have all these tools to like distract her, but like I'm still holding on to mom rain cloud. Like I'm still holding on to mom, bringing her into my space and seeing if she's like sad or angry or upset because like I'm afraid she'll hurt me or something, or holding on to trauma from a long time ago and bringing it around, and actually kind of in a weird way attracting more rain clouds or more trauma that's very similar to it because you won't let it go. And I'm not just saying that that's something that like necessarily like, oh, actually that's actually exactly what I'm saying. I am saying that there's a way to just let this go. You can just let it go.
Oh my God. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, okay, it's not just like your dad left your family when you're 3. Just let it go. Just let it go. It's cured. You told me it's kind of, you have anxiety? Just calm down. Like that's how this comes across, okay? And that's not what I'm trying to do here. So what I'm saying is that like, especially when it comes to like when I was talking about mom rain cloud, okay, so basically here's this problem, right? And here's this person who really messed you up. Here's this situation that happened. Here's this thing, okay? This like bad thing that happened to you, this person that caused you like pain, just all of these things, okay? So here it is, and I'm having it kind of generally portrayed as like a rain cloud. And what you're doing is bringing, energetically soaking it in to your space and keeping it around you so that you stay safe. By having it in your space, you can keep tabs on it. You can analyze it. You can see it from all angles. You can, how does this person feel? How, what are they planning? Or just having the pain always there. You can't ever be happy and then get your absolute shit rocked if you're always having your shit rocked. You can't fall if you're always low. But what this is actually doing is bringing more of the same pain into your space. So that's what I'm seeing on an energetic standpoint of like what's happening. So it's like I've only maybe like known guys that are like narcissistic or stuff like that. And so I joined this like group of women, and we sit around and we talk about how like men are narcissistic and like our husbands, and it's like a form of healing. And then it gets to a point where it's just like constant, and it's always on your mind, and it's always there. And it's like, oh, well, if I didn't have like a narcissistic father, then like my life would be better. And it's just kind of like this consistent focus on that said thing that is in a weird way like giving it power and bringing more of that same pain in. So it's like this focus on like, screw that ex-boyfriend, that like, all that stuff, I have to heal all about him. And you do, but then it gets to a point where like it might be excessive, or there's just like an extreme focus, or like a twin, there's like twin flame relationships where it's like must like, heal divine masculine. It's like we're in this pain. It's just like this obsessive focus. And what that's doing is it's constantly bringing it in. Energetically, focusing on trying your best to kind of focus on something different is what's, and like what you do want, like the sunny day, or like a healthy partner, or like these other things, is what is needed. So, and also what I'm saying is as energy workers and people on the spiritual path, there is a way for you to eventually heal it out of your system so that you aren't attracted to a narcissist anymore. You don't have to have a trauma bond with somebody. You don't have to go keep attracting the same pain. I hope I said that correctly.
It's doing nothing but literally raining on your parade all the time. And so It's like, my bitch ass is like looking at myself with my Disney World balloons of like all of these rain clouds, and I'm just like holding them. I'm just like holding them all. I'm like, here's all my trauma. I'm like, keep it with me. Look at it all. Look at it all. Do you see my big storm? Like, look what's happening to me. And, you know, it's in a weird way, it also kind of feels scary. So if you had this like big rain cloud around you, right? Or you know, had a lot of shit happen, you know, the rain cloud and the storming and the rain, like that feels more safe and familiar than the sun. You know, it's kind of like when you've been in a dark room for a really long time, and then you come out and there's like sunshine and you're like, oh my god, my eyes! And it's like hard for you to get used to, you know, and you kind of want to go back inside and shut your eyes and like, what the hell was that? It's kind of the same thing. And so, you know, it looks like with this, just like you don't necessarily all like let it all go at once. Maybe that's like kind of shocking, but you're doing it, you know. The rain cloud is like getting smaller, but you're learning that it's safe to be in the sunshine, and that you can actually kind of see when a storm is coming and you can go inside. So instead of this like fluke, it's a sunny day, here's like this crazy ass like zzz, you're screwed sort of thing happening to you, it doesn't have to fully affect you for years and as much as it has, I guess, because kind of more and more and more is getting piled on top of it. So it's like, you know, a fluke thing can come and happen, but then it can go away. The problem is that you kind of tend to keep it and put a leash on it and hold it with you, and that isn't allowing things to move or process. There's this false belief that says like trauma will affect you forever. It's like you'll never be the person that you were before the trauma. That's not the point. But like, you know, you can move forward from it. And, you know, as more and more things, you know, it looks like a lot of people around you are, you know, have all these clouds and stuff like that. And in a way, sometimes you might hang out with people who have all the clouds and it feels safe to be with them. I'm not saying that people with trauma are like bad to hang out with. It's just more over like, this is what you know. It's life here with all the storm and the drama and like all of this stuff.
People who have gone through trauma are not unhealthy to hang out with. People who have gone through a lot of trauma and are continuing to focus on the same bad behaviors, or continuing to do the same self-destructive things, or not doing anything to heal from them, and are obsessed with living life in this sort of like rain cloud, dark, this is how life is mentality, might be unhealthy.
And so what I'm seeing is that you guys are beginning to sort of like let this go and like learn that it's safe to like let go. It doesn't have to, you're not stuck in this rain cloud anymore. You're not stuck, it can fly away. Trauma can leave your body. It doesn't have to be with you forever. You don't have to hold on to it forever. So I'm seeing this being with like grudges, people, moments in your life that happen to you, places, just, it looks like you guys are learning that you can let go and it's gonna be safe. But being okay with the fact that like, okay, you know, that it's okay to go slow with this, and you're learning that it's safe to let it go. It's not always gonna come back, or you can kind of see it. Or if something does come back, it's like it's a rain cloud, it strikes you and you're like, ah, and then you heal. But it's not your entire reality, if that makes sense. It's not your entire life. Things can happen and life happens and things move and shift, and you're not gonna have to be stuck there for the rest of your life. Woo. All right, feel dizzy after that one. Called myself out. Boop. Mr. Green Guy. here he is in his glory. Vamonos. Wow. Okay. Wow. Owen Wilson. Wow. So what I'm seeing with you guys is you need to look backwards in the way that you need to see how far you've come. There's so much focus on what's ahead of you and kind of like what else is coming that, and that's okay. You need to start to validate yourself with how much growth you've done, even in a week, even if in like just a few days. Like if there's a mentality shift, if there's just any difference in like any way of thinking, or even if you were depressed for 3 days and then you finally, like today, you got up and you took a shower before 12 o'clock, like that you need to start validating yourself for how far you've come, because it looks like something that's really holding you back from where you want to go, whether it be like a new relationship or something that you want in your life, or a new house, or like all of these things. Like you really need to take the time to see how much shifts and changes you've done, because what that's going to do is actually bring you closer to what it is that you're working for. It looks like you guys have been really programmed to always be kind of looking ahead. It's like it's almost in a way like you're never good enough. It's a lot of perfection energy, but like also, it's a lot of perfection energy. It's a lot of it. It's just kind of like the work is never done. And that destination that you're searching for and that you're trying to go towards, like it doesn't even exist. It's a mirage. And, you can do all the spiritual work in the world. You can have the perfect mindset. You can have the perfect girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, house, everything, and the work isn't done. Like it'll never be done. And that's the point. So there's kind of like what I'm seeing with you guys is that there's like this destination that you're really excited to get to. It's like, when I get here, I will feel like this fulfillment and this excitement, or like, I don't know, just, it looks like there's a lot of reaching outwards. And I know this sounds like very law of attraction-y, but like you create what you want by by being that now and really having where you're at now. So what I'm seeing for you guys, a really important thing for you to keep in mind is finding a way to celebrate where you're at right now and making something of your life right now, finding something to appreciate about your life like right now, setting the intention. I'm telling you guys, like visualization intentions, those make your life so much better, because hold on. Almost like setting an intention to appreciate where you're at right now and really love, and like that looks like that's the major thing for you right now. To give you an example, I really want to move to California, and sitting inside in the snow and seeing a lot of people's like Instagram stories all about like how sunshiny it is in California right now is like sending me through a loop. And yes, like it's important to realize I'm not happy with where I am.
You know what? I actually discovered that wasn't me that really hates where I am. That was actually my parents and them wanting me me to be something different than what I am, and throwing all this expectation energy on me. I have a lot of expectation for myself too. It was like 10% mine and like 90% of other people. That's why I kept getting thrown energy, like don't appreciate where you are. No, be something different, So that's why I kept getting thrown at me. So if you're identifying with that at all, it might be interesting to look at that part of it too. Who doesn't like where I am? Is it really me?
But at the same time, it's really important to appreciate where you are, because there's a tendency to like want to escape our lives and escape our. Hold on. Oh my God, I'm having a hard time with this one.
See? Not me. Someone really doesn't want me to have me in my body and appreciate where I am.
It's like what you do energetically is you put yourself into these things, like the place, the partner, the future house, all of these things. And when they're so outside of you, your literal dependency, when you put your energy into those things and they're not in your body, your dependency becomes completely controlled by the outer reality. So if you don't get that house, then you kind of like don't get to love yourself. If you don't get the partner, you don't get to love yourself. Like there's just been a lot of training on like outer. Like what's the result? Like even when it comes to like feeling better, like happier, like it just like you don't get to have yourself. Even you're bad, like even when you're feeling sad, all of these things, like you don't get to have like you unless all of these things out here work with you. And so I'm seeing that there's a bit of like control stemming from like the third chakra. So like third chakra is all about like personal power. It's also like where a lot of people try to control their outer life. And what I'm seeing for these people is that, and myself, is that there's like an enlarged like third chakra of like trying to control like everything around them, trying to like be in like this bottle. I'm like in the camera, like, just in everything. And like that is what determines if you get to have yourself in your body or not. Like if this video flops, like I don't get to have myself sort of energy. Like I don't get to love myself. And that looks like that was just really conditioned by high expectations from parents or authority figures or teachers. And I'm seeing that you guys are in a process of unlearning that unhealthy thing, because it's super unhealthy. You will never be happy. I swear to God, like you will never be fucking happy. I grew up with people like that, like very wealthy people putting themselves inside of everything. 3 people did really bad things and are not alive right now. Like, it just, nobody was happy. Nobody was happy. And everybody was an alcoholic. So, putting everything outside of yourself and then losing it all, it's just, you lose yourself. So, a way for you to be able to actually manifest and have the things that it is that you want is by energetically learning how to ground and also like, have where you are and, start to be grateful. So really genuinely like, what are you grateful for today? I know it sounds really freaking cliche, but like, setting an intention to like, hey, I would like to appreciate living where I live right now. It's come in a few times. I'm like, wow. I see a sunset sometimes outside. I'm like, and suddenly, living here isn't so terrible. It's just kind of like putting all of your happiness into everything outside of you. It never gets you to where you want to be. You'll never be there because there will be always something else that you're going to put yourself into, and it won't feel stable. There's no stability. So just being able to have where you are is something that will be super potent and super helpful for you. And then in a way, it's kind of like the manifestation just comes to you. And then you're like, wow, it feels like a cherry on top instead of like a life and death, like, oh, thank God I got the thing, That's how it happens. That's how it's all going to come to you. When you when you don't need it at all. You'd think after hearing that message like 10 times in the last like 6 months, I'd get that. But you know, have it where we are. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this timeless generalized message. I hope that the messages resonated with you. If you have any questions or need any clarifications, please feel free to give me a comment. I'll do my best to answer it to the best of my abilities. Please like and subscribe, and also give me more ideas, like what do you want me to read about? Love, career, money, anything. We got it. Oh. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you again soon. I don't know when. I feel weird.